The story kicks off with a jolt. A young guy's eyes snap open, finding himself in a strange bed. He bolts upright, gasping, and stares at his hands in horror. They're heavily wrapped in thick gauze. Am I still breathing? He whispers, checking his pulse. The room is dead silent. He scrambles out of the sheets and stumbles toward the window to get his bearings. Below, the massive grounds of the campus medical hospital are buzzing with life. Students swarm the walkways completely oblivious to the nightmare he remembers. Confusion hits him like a truck. His last memory was the apocalypse, the world ending in absolute ruin. Desperate, he rushes to a mirror. The reflection, staring back, is younger, much younger. He realizes he's been thrown back to his university days a whole decade in the past. Suddenly, a holographic interface flickers to life in midair. System alert, power of gluttony fusion complete. He snatches a smartphone off the desk. The lock screen reads, May 16th, 21:57. He stands there, bathed in the blue glow of the screen. He realizes he's exactly 3 years out, from the beginning of the end. In the year 2160, the first nightmare arrives, a calamity known as Demon King Wrath. Colossal purple tentacles erupt from the earth, crumbling skyscrapers like they're made of paper. Wrath tears open the gates of hell, unleashing a legion of demon kings onto humanity. The world is reduced to ash and flames. Amidst the debris, a dark silhouette towers over the wreckage, clutching a lifeless corpse. Si-Chen remembers the pain of that war, losing everything. Back in the present, he stares at his open palms. He squeezes his fist tight, his eyes flashing a menacing crimson. Not this time. He vows to crush Wrath and seal the gates of hell before they ever open. He is going to rewrite the future. The system interface hovers patiently in front of him. Power of gluttony, fusion complete. Si-Chen reaches out and taps the glowing prompt. A status window pops up, displaying his stats. He's technically level 1, but the numbers are broken. Strength, speed, everything is maxed out at 100. He explains the rules of this reality. Special powers are incredibly rare, awakening in only 1 out of every 10,000 people. A holographic chart cycles through the elite classes, Star Mages, Flame Warriors, and the lethal Lightning Assassins. Currently, Si-Chen is just another face at the National University for Awakened Powers. The campus is a fortress of sleek modern architecture, designed to train the next generation of heroes. Si-Chen locks eyes with a digital card floating on his screen, Lightning Assassin. That was his build in the previous timeline. But seeing it now, he wonders if he's triggered his awakening way ahead of schedule. He flexes his fingers and crackling yellow electricity arcs across his skin. System message class change loading. The door swings open. In walks Malong, rocking wire-rimmed glasses and a brown sweater. A text box tags him, E-rank flower chanter. Malong freezes, jaw-dropping. He can't believe Si-Chen is on his feet. Dude, you were pulverized yesterday. You shouldn't be walking. He pokes Si-Chen's arm tentatively. Nothing. The bruises, the cuts gone. Si-Chen stares at his best friend, a wave of nostalgia hitting him. In the original timeline, Malong was one of the first to die during the demon invasion. The unsuspecting guy just pushes his glasses up his nose. Did you level up or something? Malong asks before panic sets in. Wait, the ranking test, it's scheduled for tomorrow. Malong grabs Si-Chen's shoulder and shoves him toward the exit. We gotta go, man. We're totally unprepared. They step out into a golden sunset, walking across the quad. Students are bawling on the courts, laughing. Si-Chen scans the vibrant crowd and murmurs, "It's been forever since I've seen living people." Malong shoots him a weird look. Okay. Si-Chen glances at the sky, but his mind overlays the image of a burning, ruined city. He knows he needs a strategy. I need to power level fast, but it's not easy. The major guilds have a monopoly on all the high-tier dungeons, making it impossible for outsiders to get stronger. But Si-Chen checks his HUD again. All stats, 100 points. He's already broken the game. He glances at a chart showing ranks E through S. 99% of students rot in E rank forever. As they stroll down the path, wham, a stray basketball smashes directly into Malong's face. He hits the pavement with a sickening thud, groaning in agony. Si-Chen's gaze snaps to the source, a squad of jacked students lounging on the stone steps nearby. The ringleader, sporting a black tank top and dog tags, smirks. Well, look who it is. Surprised you two can even stand after the beatdown we gave you. He chuckles to his crew. These punching bags have serious durability, huh? The bully glares down, expression turning nasty. Where's my tribute? I don't see any drinks. Malong instantly cowers, dropping his head. I'll go get them right now, Malong stammers. But Si-Chen doesn't flinch. He casually blocks Malong with one hand. Chill, it's not your fault. They're the ones who need to apologize, Si-Chen states, voice ice cold. He locks eyes with the leader and a dark memory surfaces. Flashback. A bathroom sink. Water rushing. Hands forcing Si-Chen's head down. He's drowning in the porcelain bowl, gasping for air. Past Malong is huddled in the corner, shaking with fear, reaching out a trembling hand. Please, stop. You're hurting him. The bully grins, watching the bubbles rise. Relax. I'm just helping him awaken his powers. It's training. The goons in the doorway roar with laughter. Si-Chen goes limp, blacking out on the wet tiles. Bored, the bullies walk away, leaving him like trash. Ma Long scrambles to his side, screaming his name. That day, Si Chen learned a hard truth: humans can be just as monstrous as demons. Snap back to now. The bully Gong Chen stops laughing. He stares at Si Chen, totally confused by this sudden spine. Ma Long is shaking like a leaf behind him, tears streaming down his face. Gong Chen powers up his right arm, morphing into a glowing emerald stone. He's an E-rank power warrior full of arrogance. Si Chen just stares back, his eyes burning a deep, menacing red. He knows Gong Chen is only tough because his big brother runs the student council. A crowd gathers thirsty for drama. They point and laugh at the duo, calling them the school's biggest losers. That snaps Gong Chen's patience. He roars in anger. He launches that massive stone fist straight at Si Chen's head. But Si Chen, he doesn't flinch. He just raises an arm. Boom. A blinding flash erupts on impact. Si Chen stands rooted like a tree, while Gong Chen recoils shocked. The bully yanks his arm back, grimacing in pain. The students gasp. Did the trash student just tank a power warrior's hit? Si Chen is ice cold, totally unbothered. Gong Chen is losing his mind with rage. Behind them, Ma Long looks like he's seen a ghost. Gong Chen grinds his teeth, screaming, "Weakling!" Si Chen glances down, watching golden arcs of lightning dance across his fingertips. Time for a test run. A holographic interface pops up in the air, flashing job switching. The text flips job switch complete. He is now a level 1 electric assassin. Game on. K. Raccoon, massive bolts of yellow thunder explode from his frame, his eyes blazing with golden energy. His stat screen goes crazy, speed and strength doubling, tripling instantly. Ma Long can't process this. When did you awaken? Gong Chen sees red. He triggers a skill, Indestructible Demon Armor, turning his arm into a spiked boulder. It's huge, sharp, and deadly. "I'm gonna end you," he screams, lunging forward for a lethal strike. But Si Chen is a blur. He weaves under the giant fist, with god-tier speed, dodging the attack effortlessly. Staying low, he channels pure high-voltage energy into his fist and drives it straight into Gong Chen's jaw. The impact launches the bully through the air like a rag doll. The crowd screams, clutching their heads in disbelief. Ma Long's jaw hits the floor. Crash. Gong Chen skids across the pavement like a skipped stone. Bloody and broken, he looks up, begging his crew for backup. But his silver-haired lackey is frozen, sweating buckets. Si Chen owns the track now, standing center stage while bathed in a crackling aura of yellow lightning. Gong Chen leaps for a desperate Hail Mary smash. Si Chen just reaches up and snatches his wrist mid-air. Sparks fly where skin meets stone. Si Chen's eyes flash with that terrifying golden light. "You're too weak," he whispers. Then he slams the bully into the earth with the force of a thunderclap. Wham! A shockwave ripples out, kicking up a dust storm. Gong Chen's body bounces off the asphalt. He flies back, smashing into the stone bleachers. He crumples out cold against the cracked concrete. He's a bloody mess. Ma Long drops to his knees on the grass, screaming, "Did you see that power?" Si Chen stands calm, staring at the blood on his hand. He opens his status window. No celebration, just data. Still level 1, but every stat is maxed at 100 points. He realizes this form wrecks low tiers, but his XP bar didn't budge. No gains from a fight this easy. He needs a different grind. A jagged blade of lightning forms in his grip as he stalks toward the unconscious bully. The students are petrified. Ma Long panics, shouting, "Wait, don't do it." Si Chen ignores him, towering over his enemy. With savage eyes, he wonders if he needs to bring his old violent ways into this life. He yanks Gong Chen up by the collar, pressing the crackling lightning blade against the guy's jugular. Enter Ling Yu, the blonde student council VP. She struts over, commanding attention. "Stop," she orders. "You've punished him enough." Si Chen gives her a cold, calculating look, then drops the guy. Gong Chen scrambles away like a frightened rat. The crowd whispers in terror, "Never mess with Si Chen." The duo walks off, leaving the chaos behind. Ling Yu watches them go, with a knowing smirk. Cut to the dorms. Ma Long is reenacting the fight, wild with excitement. He summoned lightning. He wiped the floor with the whole gang, he tells the room. Roommates Shang Zhuo and Shang Yu, both E-ranks, aren't buying it. Zhuo puts Ma Long in a headlock. "Quit capping," Zhuo laughs. If he was that OP, why is he out there doing cardio instead of dungeons? They figure Ma Long just got hit in the head too hard and is seeing things. Zhuo conjures a red energy orb in his palm. "I'm the only real fighter here, a nucleus mage," he brags. He flexes in the mirror, admiring himself. Si Chen, an assassin. Please, the guy's a twig. The instructor drops a bombshell. Tomorrow is D-Day, the final E-rank evaluation inside the demon lair. Twin stone pillars frame a swirling vortex of jagged orange flame. Stepping straight out of the inferno is Gong Ting, looking like he owns the place. Ling Yu trails close behind him as the other students scramble to bow in respect. Nearby, Gong Chung is lurking, waiting for his moment. The guy is a walking mummy. His entire head, nose, and arms are swathed in white bandages as he stares up at his big brother, looking pathetic. He spills the tea, claiming Si Chen humiliated him in front of the whole class. Gong Ting stares down his expression, turning ice cold. He vows to settle the score personally. Cut to a lavish dining hall, where Gong Ting and Ling Yu take their seats at a massive table. Gong Ting slices into a prime steak with surgical precision. Ling Yu drops some stats. Fewer than 10 students in the entire school have cracked D rank. She points out the unfair advantage nobody else has, the VIP access to demon lairs that he enjoys. Meanwhile, Si Chen is out in a brutal downpour, tearing through the night in a blue jacket. He is hauling 100 kilograms of dead weight, crushing a 20-kilometer run. Rain and sweat mix dripping off his face. Every breath is a battle. He knows his electric assassin abilities are useless without a body built like a tank. Suddenly we flash forward to the year 2160. The apocalypse. Colossal purple tentacles burst from the clouds, leveling skyscrapers. In the mud and rain, Si Chen collapses, shattered. He cradles his sister's lifeless body, another victim of the Demon King wrath. Snapping back to the present, Si Chen stands amidst the storm, eyes glowing crimson. Mission 1, kill Wrath. Save the world from total annihilation. A buzz in his pocket breaks the trance. It is an incoming call from Si Yun. He jams an earbud in and takes the call. He freezes on the empty track. Si Yun's voice echoes in his ear, asking why he blew up her phone all day. She explains her phone died during a competition. Then she drops the motivation. If she bags the prize money, they can finally cover rent. Si Chen stares at the asphalt silence hanging heavy. He remembers praying for this second chance. Si Yun asks about the rain and his silence. Si Chen manages a bittersweet smile. It is nothing, he lies. Just wanted to hear your voice. Si Yun is totally confused. Didn't they just chat 2 days ago? She signs off, telling him to wait for good news. Si Chen gazes up at the ink-black sky, pivots and resumes the grind. 3 more laps. 8 hours later, he finally stumbles back to his dorm room. Under the shower spray, Si Chen studies his reflection in the steam. This body is young. It is physically weaker than his prime, sure, but he is slowly forcing it to adapt. Later, clad in a black robe, he sits on the edge of the bed, deep in thought. Leveling up is a nightmare when the big guilds monopolize every demon lair. Where is he supposed to find monsters to kill, and what exactly is this gluttony power? As he drifts off, a holographic red interface pierces the darkness. A loading bar appears. System booting. The text flashes, gluttony system start. Suddenly, the floor drops out, sending him plummeting through a neon pink and red void. He executes a perfect mid-air flip, sticking the superhero landing on a crimson watery surface. Looming ahead is a titanic dark tower wrapped in thorns and piercing the purple sky. How did he get here? He was literally just in bed. He stares up at the ominous spire stretching into the abyss. A low growl ripples from the shadows. Pale nightmares with skull heads and glowing blue eyes rise from the water. The system tags them E-rank deathhounds. The pack encircles him, fangs bared. Crackling yellow lightning erupts around Si Chen's right hand. He watches the prompt, loading, switching class. It hits him, he is inside a private demon lair. Transformation complete, lightning assassin mode engaged. His hair goes wild, and his eyes blaze with intense yellow energy. Sparks dance across his skin. 3 hounds lunge simultaneously. He moves like a blur, slashing through the beasts with bare hands. One skull shatters like glass on impact. Ping a notification confirms the loot 3 Death Forest items secured. These E-rank scrubs are barely a warm-up. He watches 4 XP notifications pop up, plus 52 EXP each. A massive, glowing level-up banner hovers overhead. His status refreshes instantly, hitting level 2. This is not just a dream, it is a fast track to power. He pulls up his stat window. Level 2 confirmed. And every stat just jumped by 5 points. Si Chen grins. He has just discovered his own personal infinite raid dungeon. Out of nowhere, a massive boss creep-ups from the shadows, a nightmare fuel hound with a literal skull for a face and eyes burning like red LEDs. The beast gapes, exposing rows of razor teeth, but Si Chen is faster. He spins wreathed in yellow lightning and shears clean through the monster's neck. Crimson splatters the screen. Ding, a system alert, pops 320 XP secured. That sweet level-up banner flashes. Si Chen hits level 3. The victory screen rolls out the loot drop. 18 Death Forest fangs and a rare Death Forest crystal. Nice haul. Si Chen pulls up his stat block immediately. His speed just spiked to 330. He realizes grinding bosses is the real meta, way more XP than trash mobs. He smirks, feeling the power surge. But as he looms over the hound's carcass, a glitchy red window hovers over the skull. One word blinks, devourable. Si Chen's eyes widen. Is this the gluttony system's actual cheat code? He extends a hand. Boom, blinding red and white light blasts from his palm, whipping up a massive crimson vortex over the beast. The vortex sucks the corpse right in. Si Chen makes a fist, controlling the chaotic red energy swirling around him like a storm. System prompt finished. A card materializes, featuring the boss's art. It unlocks a new perk, Frost Physique. This grants total cold immunity, plus a massive resistance buff in freezing temps. Si Chen stares at the glowing blue card in his hand. shook that a whole monster just got compressed into data. His face goes dark. He realizes the loop: kill enemies, absorb them, unlock new classes. This is Demon King Lan Yu territory. Usually you're born with one class and you're stuck with it. That's the absolute law of this world. But Shi Chen, he's currently juggling two cards: Lightning Assassin and Frost Cloud Warrior, dual classes. He looks up, the gears turning. If he keeps devouring, his potential isn't just high, it's infinite. He eyes the colossal thorny tower looming on the horizon. Why him? And what's waiting in that demonic spire? He freezes. The atmosphere gets crushing heavy. Whoosh, purple flames erupt, birthing a new monster. This thing is packing a giant greatsword. It speaks, voice dripping with malice. I've been waiting for you, Shi Chen. Quick lore refresher: warriors are ranked E to S. A flashback triggers. We see Shi Chen ragdolled through the air, bloody and broken. In his past life, chasing S rank, almost punched his ticket. Back in the present, he's panting, clutching a sword crackling with yellow lightning. Reality check: he's only D rank right now. The enemy, an S rank boss, standing in a literal ocean of blood. It wields dual purple blades and somehow knows his name. Before Shi Chen can process, a curved blade slashes in. Shi Chen scrambles to dodge, but wham! He takes a direct hit to the chest and screams. He hits the red dirt face down. The boss towers over him, mocking, still fighting it. Battered and broken, Shi Chen looks up. He realizes this thing doesn't just want to kill him, it wants submission. Guard the tower, the monster demands. It's a once-in-a-lifetime offer. Shi Chen locks eyes with the beast. Grit in his teeth, he spits back, never. Instantly, a purple energy blade slices the air. Blood geysers from Shi Chen's shoulder. He stares at the wound, stunned. The monster loses its cool. Leveling its sword, the boss growls, I've been patient only because you're the sole key to this lair. Spectral skulls burst from the bloody water. The sky turns a suffocating purple. Shi Chen stands alone against the apocalypse. HUD warnings flash, the boss's stats are skyrocketing. Gravity shifts, lifting massive boulders into the air. Debris floats around the entity like satellites. The ultimatum drops: serve or become paste. Shi Chen grinds his molars. I choose to kill you. He explodes into a blur of yellow light. He rockets forward. The monster swings its massive purple blades, laughing off the attempt as ridiculous. Crash rocks disintegrate as they collide in the wasteland. But Shi Chen isn't just fighting. He's watching. Mid-combat, he downloads the attack patterns. He spots at a 0.4-second windup. That's the telegraph before every swing. He tracks the wrist angle to forecast the trajectory. Prediction locked. He vaults into the air, barely clearing the glowing blade. Another opening. The boss has a 0.2-second recovery lag post-strike. That's the window. Defense is 0. Shi Chen channels every ounce of yellow lightning and dives. He drives his lightning-charged hand straight into the monster's chest. Kaboom! A blinding detonation of yellow energy swallows the screen. Right as he lunges to pierce the beast's heart, a glitchy system notification pops up. Status paralyzed. Shi Chen knows the math: he can't scratch an S-rank boss yet. He decides to use the paralysis debuff to bail and triggers his ace skill, Lightning God. Golden voltage erupts around his body, cranking his speed up 10 times. He blitzes toward a tiny speck of light in the dark distance. That light is his ticket out. Shi Chen launches himself airborne, reaching out only for the exit to vanish into thin air. He slams onto the crimson dirt hard. Behind him, a massive shockwave of violet energy detonates like a bomb. The monster steps through the smoke like it owns the place. It mocks him. The exit was a hologram. This isn't a lair, it's a trap. The creature sheds its disguise, finally revealing its true form, the Purgatory Rakshasa, an S-rank 1-star warrior. But instead of attacking, the Rakshasa calls him the Chosen One who brings hope. Shi Chen freezes, eyes wide in total confusion. That silhouette hits him like a truck. It's the exact form Demon King Lan Yue wore in his past life. Memories flood back: a burning battlefield, orange napalm, skies and arcs of yellow lightning tearing through the chaos. In that final showdown of his previous life, the enemy class swapped like a glitching game character, overpowering everyone. A vine-covered monstrosity with red eyes. Then a blinding celestial figure appeared, manifesting as a deity with floating orbs. This Rakshasa rocks the same twisted horns, skeletal ribcage, and blue aura. Shi Chen realizes he's standing face-to-face with an avatar of the absolute worst nightmare from his past life. It clicks. This entire dimension is inside him, fueled by his gluttony skill. The Rakshasa grins, impressed by his sharp deduction. Deciding he's worthy of the tower's secrets, the beast summons a floating golden key embedded with a massive ruby. A system window pops: SSS rank Key of the Void, the only ticket to unlock the legendary demonic tower. Clutching the artifact in a clawed hand, the Rakshasa explains how the old Demon King Lan Yue feasted on other powerful entities. The heavy hitters, they're locked in that tower. The Purgatory Rakshasa extends the golden key to him. Shi Chen grabs the loot but demands to know the catch. Why is a monster helping a human? The creature's expression darkens. The other demon kings wiped out his entire species just to feed their own greed. He's been waiting eons for payback. He stares at Shi Chen, mentioning a mysterious someone who predicted this moment. Someone, Shi Chen, frowns, completely lost. Who are you talking about? The Rakshasa gestures to a looming black spire on the horizon. Your answers are hidden in there. Suddenly the beast begins to radiate a blinding neon blue and white light. As he disintegrates into glowing pixels, he roars his final wish. Take my power. Make the demon kings pay. He warns that the tower's inmates are savage, so Shi Chen needs to become an unstoppable monster to clear it. Silhouettes of the demon kings loom in a crimson void. The mission is clear: conquer, devour, ascend to the peak. The Rakshasa's head shatters, dissolving into raw magical energy shards. Only the resolute are worthy echoes the fading voice. Shi Chen stands alone on the blood-red wasteland. He reaches out, snatching the floating purple essence. Ding. Notification. Devouring initiated. Golden aura explodes around him. The system spams. Level up. Level up. He hits level 10 instantly. A victory screen flashes acquired Rakshasa's underworld bone X2. Clenching his fist, Shi Chen vows to carry this burden. System text, devouring complete. A glossy card materializes. The Purgatory Rakshasa. Unlocked skills, bone grip ruin, and triple gravity strike. They'll pay in blood, he growls. Smash cut to morning sun hitting his dorm room window. Rise and shine, maggots, a loudspeaker blares. Shi Chen bolts upright, totally disoriented. While his roomies gear up, he checks his body. The gnarly wounds from last night, gone without a trace. Was it a nightmare? He flicks open his HUD. Nope, level 10. It was real. He scans his stats. Everything has skyrocketed to 150 across the board. The Rakshasa card sits in his inventory. Dude grinded 9 levels in a single sleep cycle. Insane. He wonders where this puts him on the government power scale. Suddenly, Xiongzhuo gets in his personal space. Wearing a trash-eating grin, Xiongzhuo sneers. So Malong thinks you're some kind of powerhouse, huh? Malong shivers in the corner. You trying to steal my spot, as top dog Xiongzhuo hisses. Shi Chen just hits him with a deadpan stare. Ranking test starts now. Don't embarrass yourself, Xiongzhuo spits, storming off. Game on. While scarfing down bread on the campus steps, he breaks down the power hierarchy tiers, split into low, mid, and high. A holo chart pops up, revealing the brutal truth: most scrubs are stuck in low E, while the current campus elite peak at mid D. Xiongzhuo flexes, claiming he's sitting pretty at mid E, strong enough to take down 10 low-tier weaklings solo. Ma Long spins to Shi Chen, hyping him up to aim for that D rank just to put the fear of God into their enemies. They roll up to a massive outdoor plaza, where a jumbotron blasts the announcement for the National Awakener University's official rank test. The hallway is already packed, a sea of uniforms buzzing with nervous energy. Suddenly, 2 bullies are seen slamming a smaller kid against the wall. Ma Long clocks them instantly as Gong Cheng's goons. He warns the squad to steer clear, but then the 2 thugs freeze, breaking into a cold sweat with terror in their eyes. They drop their heads, bowing all the way to the pavement, shaking as they whimper Big Brother Shi Chen. Xiongzhuo and Ma Long stand there, jaws on the floor, realizing Ma Long's tall tales about Shi Chen's strength weren't cap after all. Shi Chen keeps walking ice cold, ignoring the bowing lackeys completely, until the vibe shifts. A guy with blue-gray hair, Jiang Jian, steps into Shi Chen's path, his title flashing overhead, Student Council Officer. Jiang Jian flashes a toxic smirk, bringing up the messy beef Shi Chen had with Gong Cheng. He drops a reminder that Gong Cheng is the baby brother of the Student Council President Gong Ting, sending Ma Long and Xiongzhuo scrambling behind a wall. Peeking out, they panic. Jiang Jian is a D-rank powerhouse and the president's right hand. Shi Chen has a target on his back. Jiang Jian leans in, invading personal space, whispering that he has a nose for sniffing out true power from a mile away. Then he sneers, insulting Shi Chen by saying he only reeks of a permanent bottom feeder. Shi Chen stares deadpan and asks, "Are you a dog?" Jiang Jian's face goes crimson with rage, veins popping as he screams right in Shi Chen's face. Eyes bulging, teeth grinding, he demands a repeat, but right as things are about to explode, Gong Ting steps up and orders him to stand down. The president reveals he looked into the fight, admitting his own brother, Gong Cheng, started it and got exactly what he deserved. Shi Chen and Gong Ting lock eyes, a long heavy silence hangs between them, as they size each other up. On the main stage, the announcer declares it's showtime, ordering students to line up by ID number for the assessment. Meanwhile, high up in a skyscraper office, 2 silhouettes loom against the glass. They gaze down at the ceremony like gods watching ants, wondering if any diamonds in the rough will show up today. Ling Yu sips tea from delicate porcelain, a mysterious smile playing on his lips as 1 hour ticks by in the arena. The mic booms calling Xiongzhuo. Ma Long plays hype man in the crowd, fist-pumping, while Xiongzhuo looks sweaty but ready to go. He marches toward the stage, stepping through the glowing blue portal and vanishing into the light. He materializes in a pitch-black chamber where thick cables dangle from the ceiling, feeding into a mechanical heart at the center. This is the magic core, its digital eyes shut tight, waiting for a student to unleash their full power for absorption. Xiang Zuo grits his teeth, letting out a warrior's roar as a massive sphere of orange flame ignites above his palms. He launches a blazing beam of fire straight into the mechanical eye, triggering a massive, deafening explosion. Blinding light floods the room, buzzing with energy until the screen flickers to life, with a verdict E rank. The scientist logs it as E rank mid-tier, while back in the stands Ma Long is screaming his head off in support. He claims the real show is just starting, right as the screen reveals a second category potential. White digital lines race across the blue interface, locking in to form a glowing letter C. The final summary pops up. Current stats: E rank mid-tier, max potential C rank. Xiang Zuo's shoulders slump. He didn't level up like he hoped. He collapses onto the stone steps, head in hands, while Ma Long grips his shoulder, trying to be a good bro. Ma Long jokes that their scores will probably be even trashier just as the results for the rest of the roomies drop. The screen is ruthless. Si Chen and Ma Long are both low E with C potential, matching Xiang Zuo's mid E and C potential. The trio looks completely defeated until the screen flashes a new result: someone just hit D rank with B rank potential. The three roommates stare at the board, eyes popping out of their skulls. Moments later, Zheng Jin struts out of the blue portal, laughing with the swagger of a winner as his stats go live. D rank low tier with A rank potential, the roommates look like they just swallowed lemons. They realize 8 students have already crushed the D rank barrier today. Even the scientists are checking their tablets in shock. Usually only 2 or 3 prodigies hit D rank, but this year is built different. The loudspeaker booms across the arena, calling the name everyone's been waiting for: Gong Ting. The student council president strides toward the stage like he owns the place. The crowd holds its breath. It is finally time for the main event to enter the portal. Murmurs ripple through the stands. That's the heir to a massive guild and the top dog of the academy. Rumor has it this guy hit D rank 2 years ago. Can he shatter the school record? Inside the pitch-black testing chamber, the mechanical heart pounds like a war drum, its blue eye snapping wide open. Gong Ting reaches for the core but hesitates. He decides to sandbag his power. He wants to keep his true strength in reserve for the graduation battle, a calculated move to drop a bombshell later. Even while holding back, he plans to stay on top of the food chain. Suddenly his eye flares with blinding orange light. Outside, the massive digital screen glitches with wild white and yellow energy. The scientist with the mustache looks like he has seen a ghost as the colors shift. The screen locks in. The verdict: Gong Ting is a high-tier D rank. But wait, his potential is S rank. The numbers on the board are insane. The stadium absolutely erupts. Students are throwing their hands up, losing their minds. Jiang Jian's jaw hits the floor as he screams for his president. The word spreads fast. Gong Ting is the first person in school history to rock S-rank potential. Ma Long is shook, fists trembling by his side. But Si Chen, he just stands there ice cold. On stage, the scientists are scrambling. They need to alert the government immediately. An S-rank potential is a national treasure that needs serious protection. Gong Ting exits the portal to a hero's welcome, bathing in the applause. High up in a skyscraper, the headmaster asks Ling Yu if she came to see the golden boy. She stares out the window unimpressed. Nope. I didn't come for him. She drops the bomb. She is here for Si Chen, not Gong Ting. Right on cue, the announcer calls Si Chen for his assessment. Jiang Jian gets right in Si Chen's face, laughing. Go make our dorm look pretty, you loser, he sneers at the roommates. Ma Long snaps, yelling back at the bully to watch his back, and just wait. Si Chen ignores the noise. He walks straight toward the glowing blue portal without saying a word. He steps into the darkness. Above him, the mechanical heart hangs in the void. Its single eye widens. Si Chen reaches out his own eyes, burning with a crimson glow. It is time for the graduation combat examination. Squads of 10. The stakes. First place gets a ticket to the Imperial Guild, the most elite crew in the entire nation. Jiang Jian drags over a new recruit, Yan Lin, a low-tier D rank. That makes 9 D ranks on their squad. They are eyeing Gong Cheng to complete the God Squad. Gong Ting looks untouchable as his team hypes him up. Meanwhile, Ma Long and the boys look defeated. Ma Long checks his watch, sweating bullets. Si Chen has been in there way too long with 0 results. Passers-by snicker, throwing shade at the trash student. They figure he is too weak to even trigger the machine. Jiang Jian tells Gong Ting team's full boss, "Let's hit karaoke." Gong Ting nods and turns to leave. But then, static tears across the giant screen on stage. A massive letter D slams into view. Ma Long and the roommates freeze, eyes popping out of their heads. They are completely paralyzed by the shock. Then Ma Long screams with joy, pointing frantically at the board. Gong Ting whips around surprised. Jiang Jian looks like he swallowed a bug. The board confirms it. Si Chen is a high-tier D rank. Inside the chamber, the mechanical core is pounding violently, literally dripping sweat. A blue error message pops up. Abnormality detected. The system begs for a retest, thinking the numbers are a glitch. Si Chen checks his digital HUD. 150 points across the board. He realizes his base form matches a high-tier D rank. Let's test the weak stuff first, he thinks. Loading class change. Boom. Si-Chen morphs into the Gravahound King. A white bone mask clamps onto his face. His right eye glows red. Outside, the screen glitches again. The rank jumps to mid-tier C rank. The crowd is losing their minds, clutching their heads in disbelief. Jiang Jian is yelling, "It's broken, the machine is broken." The scientists are panic sweating, checking for errors. Inside, the core sounds like it is about to explode. Si-Chen smirks. If that was C rank, what about the heavy hitters? He triggers another class change. He transforms into the Abyssal Fiend. Red horns sprout, eyes blaze blue, and purple energy swirls like a hurricane. The mechanical core is hyperventilating now. Outside, the sky turns black. A massive purple storm churns above lightning, tearing through the clouds. The roommates huddle together, terrified a monster has been unleashed. The stage screen freaks out, exploding with colorful lines. A massive yellow S slams onto the board under potential rank. The mustache scientist shrieks in pure horror. Is there another S rank in this school? Gong Ting stares at the stage, his face twisted with worry. A crimson alert strobes across the monitor, screaming, "System error." The readout fails to lock onto a rank, because the energy output is literally off the charts. Jiang Jian's jaw hits the floor, eyes popping in disbelief. Suddenly, the entire testing chamber detonates with a deafening boom. Inferno red flames and electric blue surges swallow the stage. The scientists scramble toward the smoke in blind panic. They're screaming that the core is going critical and they need to contain the blast zone. Si-Chen's irises flare with an intense cyan glow. As he boots up his optical ability, digital green hexagons materialize over the crowd, tagging the students as trash tier E rank. His gaze locks on Gong Ting, pulling up a pink hexagon, mid-tier C rank, confirmed. Si-Chen clocks that the student council president was definitely sandbagging his true potential. The lead scientist barks over the intercom that assessments are scrubbed until tomorrow. Ma Long and Xiang Zhuo are hyping up Si-Chen, calling him a total prodigy. Here comes Jiang Jian storming over with zero chill. He's all up in Si-Chen's personal space, flailing his arms and screaming. He accuses Si-Chen of wrecking the gear and wasting the council's precious time. Si-Chen's knuckles turn white as he makes a fist, jagged yellow voltage crackling around his fingers. He's about to throw hands when Gong Ting steps in, telling Jiang Jian to check his attitude. Gong Ting pivots to Si-Chen, dropping a personal invite to join his elite squad. For the graduation combat finals, Jiang Jian looks gutted because their roster is already maxed out. He realizes he's going to have to kick someone to the curb to fit Si-Chen in. He forces a fake smile and grabs Si-Chen's shoulder to welcome the new recruit. Si-Chen instantly swats the hand away cold as ice, stating he has zero interest in joining. Gong Ting and Jiang Jian are frozen, completely stunned by the rejection. Jiang Jian yells that they're the alpha team of the whole school. Si-Chen glances back over his shoulder, tells Jiang Jian he's too loud, and warns them to stay out of his lane forever. Jiang Jian loses it, screaming so hard a burst of flame erupts from his lips. The crowd whispers that Si-Chen has guts of steel for dissing the student president. Si-Chen strolls off totally unbothered. Ma Long and the roommates are cowering nearby, shook by their friend's insane behavior. Gong Ting stands there like a statue, watching Si-Chen disappear. Headmaster Yuan Long and Ling Yu observe from a penthouse window high above. Ling Yu smirks, noting the plot just got spicy. She mentions Gong Ting's old money background and calls Si-Chen's rejection a straight-up declaration of war. Gong Ting stares at the floor, questioning if the power reading was a glitch. Jiang Jian is fuming right next to him. He begs for permission to beat Si-Chen into submission. Gong Ting shoots him a sharp look, asking if he looks like a petty thug. Gong Ting turns his back, announcing he's not in the mood for karaoke anymore. He tells Jiang Jian that whatever happens next isn't his problem. Jiang Jian breaks into a wide, sinister grin. He just got the green light to go rogue. 10 minutes later, a silver-haired lackey tips off Jiang Jian that Si-Chen has exited campus grounds. Jiang Jian stomps a blue soda can flat. He looks hyped to jump Si-Chen in the streets. Si-Chen cruises along a fence line, white earbuds and looking zen, while vivid memories flood back. Flashback elite warriors facing down a colossal, glowing pink eye, the embodiment of the monster Wrath. Massive tan tentacles studded with red eyes burst from the earth, decimating the guild. Si-Chen narrates that Wrath eventually brought the apocalypse to the human world. Back in reality, Si-Chen stands on the cracked pavement. He has a strategy to track Wrath, but he needs serious cash to start the operation. He pulls up to a grand classical, white structure, the Mithril Monster Exchange. He pushes through the doors. Inside, the walls are lined with battle axes, shields, and blades. He dumps a handful of razor-sharp monster fangs onto the counter. The clerk stares at them, clueless. Another employee, Miss Lee, clocks them immediately as Gravehound fangs. The male clerk rolls his eyes, totally dismissive. He explains that this exchange is for high-tier loot only. He calls the E-rank drops garbage and heads for the back room. He tosses the paperwork to Miss Lee to deal with the scraps. Si Chen checks his phone, notification hits 18,000 credits. That's enough to cover rent. Si Chen raises a hand, digital pink pixels and purple light swirling in his palm. He manifests a jagged, massive purple greatsword out of thin air. Miss Lee gawks at the glowing blade, convinced it's a rare, A-rank artifact. The male clerk sneers at her, claiming, a rank gear is worth millions and impossibly rare. Suddenly, a man named Ching Ge strides in. He eyes the weapon and corrects the clerk. It's not A rank, and it's not B rank. He identifies it as S rank gear from the Abyssal Lands. The clerk's face goes pale with terror. The man's face contorts, eyes popping out like he's seen a ghost, while he screams his lungs out in sheer terror. Qingji ignores the chaos and beelines straight for Si Chen. He grips the student's hand, firm, respectful. It is an absolute honor to do business with you, he says, ushering him toward the exclusive VIP lounge. Si Chen returns, the look cool as ice. He instantly clocks the guy's identity, the head honcho of the Mithril Guild. Inside, they sink into plush green sofas dripped in gold trim. Qingji cuts to the chase. Name your price. Si Chen's red eyes gleam as he drops the number, 1 million. Qingji practically chokes. Kid, that blade is worth tens of millions. But Si Chen shakes his head. He's not selling. It's just collateral. I need a loan, he explains. I'll pay back every cent in a month. Qingji studies him, impressed by the kid's sharp mind and his sheer audacity. Si Chen leans back casually, sipping tea like he owns the place. Qingji can't take his eyes off him. This guy isn't average, he realizes. Then Si Chen sweetens the pot repayment in 30 days plus 10% interest. Qingji signals Miss Lee to clear the room. Once they're alone, he adjusts his glasses, a knowing smirk playing on his lips. You're from National Awakener University, aren't you? He's connected the dots. The legendary graduation exam. It's happening in exactly 1 month. The grand prize, 1 million. The timeline, the amount, it's too perfect to be a coincidence. He knows Si Chen is desperate for cash, so he flips the script. I'll do better, Qingji says. 1.5 million. Cash. Right now. 0 interest for the first month. He stands up, extending a hand to seal the deal. Consider it an investment in friendship. Si Chen listens, face unreadable, as the guildmaster continues. He vows total discretion regarding the transaction. Flashing a business smile, Qingji drops his real pitch. Use his exchange center. Exclusively for any future trades. Si Chen studies the man, genuinely respecting the guy's analytical skills. He's sharp, and if Si Chen is going to take down the Demon King Wrath, he needs powerful allies in his corner. They shake on it, standing in the sun-drenched office. Qingji presses his palm onto a magic scroll, sparking a yellow seal that crackles with electric energy. Ping. Si Chen checks his phone. 1.5 million successfully deposited. But wait, Qingji asks. Your S-rank sword is collateral. What are you going to fight with in the exams? He gestures to his inventory, offering to loan out some A-rank or B-rank gear. Si Chen just waves it off. No need. He raises his left hand. The air glitches pink, digital pixels swirl, and suddenly a massive purple and gray greatsword materializes. It's a carbon copy of the first one. Si Chen grips the glowing hilt like it's nothing, while Qingji and his staff lose their minds. Jaws on the floor, gasping in pure disbelief. Si Chen strolls out, cool as a cucumber, leaving Qingji shouting to Miss Lee that she's just been promoted to supervisor. A reward for snagging such a big fish. Meanwhile, Si Chen hops in a yellow cab heading straight for the long-distance bus terminal. Standing before the massive terminal, memories flood back. He sees his past life, just a powerless worker drowning in unpaid rent. He remembers Si-yoon trying to comfort him, staring hopelessly at a bank account with barely $105 to their name and 60 cents. He recalls the look on her face holding that acceptance letter from the prestigious art institute, and watching her rip it to shreds. She'd cried, refusing to leave his side. Back in the present, Si Chen leans against the fence, waiting. Bro, a familiar voice cuts through the noise. He turns just as she sprints toward him, catching her in a bone-crushing hug. She freezes, eyes wide with shock at his intensity, but Si Chen just holds on, a gentle, relieved smile on his face. Then she snaps back to reality, punching his chest. Why are you acting weird? You get a girlfriend or something? Si Chen chuckles, grabbing her massive yellow suitcase. They stroll under the bright blue sky, Si-yoon chattering a mile a minute while Si Chen watches her, soaking it all in. In this life, he swears, I will keep her safe. Cut to a grimy alleyway. Jiang Jian is lurking in the shadows. He's got a crew of masked thugs backing him up. He traces a finger over a map, pinpointing Si Chen's exact route home. Hide here, he orders. Wait for the signal. His mind flashes back to the humiliation Si Chen telling him to shut up. Jiang Jian grinds his teeth. He's going to cripple Si Chen so bad he'll never make it to that graduation exam. His face twists into a dark blue rage as he unsheaths a jagged, glowing dagger. Just a poser, he cackles. Back on the main street, the siblings are walking home. Si-yoon is happily sipping milk from a little carton with a cow print. You stressed about the exam? She asks, not waiting for an answer. Get a grip, bro. Then she bursts into some cheesy song about self-belief. Si Chen looks at her, pondering how men build walls to hide their feelings. They keep walking unaware, or so it seems. In the nearby alley, Jiang Jian and his two goons lock onto their targets. Lucky us, Jiang Jian sneers. No cameras in this spot. Suddenly, Si Chen's eyes narrow into slits. He catches a scent, the stench of those student council rats lying in wait. His gaze shifts toward the pitch-black corner ahead. He spots their shadows. Without missing a beat, Si Chen reaches into his pocket and fishes out a pair of white wireless earbuds. He slides the earbuds gently into his sister's ears. Been vibing to this track lately, he whispers. Si Yun drifts eyes closed, letting the melody take over. Music reflects the soul, she murmurs. Si Chen steps in front of her, shielding her frame. His irises flare with an electric neon blue intensity. Jiang Jian and a squad of masked goons prowl down the dim alley. Digital hexes ping into existence above their heads, enemy stats locked. The HUD tags Jiang Jian as a D-rank threat. His minions are just E-rank fodder. Oblivious Si Yun keeps grooving to the beat. A flashback hits Si Chen hard. He lost her in the year 2160. But he respawned. He came back to 2167. 7 long years to reunite with his family. The thought triggers pure adrenaline. His face darkens with barely contained fury. Golden static crackles around his silhouette. He locks eyes with the approaching mob teeth, gritted glowing like a predator in the dark. Suddenly he blurs, moving at god-tier speed, leaving trails of yellow lightning in his wake. He launches straight into the pack. Wham! A devastating kick crumples a thug's face. The guy next to him freezes, eyes widening in sheer terror. Si Yun strolls on, eyes shut, lost in her playlist. Behind her, Si Chen is a whirlwind of violence tearing through the enemy line. He's multitasking, parrying a wooden club, while drop-kicking another goon into the stratosphere. Pure combat flow. He snatches an arm snap. The bone gives way. The thug shrieks, but Si Chen silences him with a brutal cross to the jaw. The impact triggers a shockwave. Boom! The remaining thugs are shaking, sweating bullets. How is he this broken? Si Chen doesn't stop. He's a phantom in the alley, dismantling the squad one punch at a time. Jiang Jian roars, slashing forward with a serrated blade. Si Chen counters instantly, charging a fist with high-voltage current. He connects squarely with Jiang Jian's face. The bully rockets into the pavement, kicking up a massive debris cloud. An explosion echoes through the street. Si Chen towers over the unconscious, battered tyrant. His eyes shift to a menacing crimson glow. He glares down at Jiang Jian. I told you. Stay away. That was your one warning. He presses the jagged knife against Jiang Jian's jugular. Zip it. One sound and it's game over. Permanently. Jiang Jian freezes, realizing this isn't a bluff. The killing intent is real. Si Chen means business. Surrounded by the scattered bodies of the gang, Si Chen issues his final decree. Burn this into your memory. I don't care about your fate, he hisses, but if you ever cross my path again, if you even breathe near my sister or look in her direction, I will delete you from existence. Meanwhile, Si Yun is still vibing, totally unaware of the carnage. Tears stream down her face as the lyrics hit home. A wave of loneliness crashes over her. She senses her brother's hidden scars. She feels the weight of the suffering he endured during their years apart. On the street, Si Chen pivots and hands her a small object. A red box. She opens it to reveal a shimmering golden pen. She blinks, completely surprised by the luxury gift. Si Chen offers a chill smile, hiding his blood-soaked fist behind his back. In the background, Jiang Jian and his crew are groaning on the asphalt, begging for an ambulance. Cut to later, back at the apartment. Si Yun tests the gift, sketching in thin air. Magic swirls. A neon pink koi fish manifests, swimming through the room. Si Chen slurps a bowl of ramen at their tiny table. Rent's paid for the whole year by the way he drops casually. He grins. Scored a killer part-time gig. He relaxes at the table, radiating pure Big Brother energy. Si Yun looks at him, heart melting, and rests a hand on his shoulder. It's a rare, wholesome moment. Scene shifts. Gong Ting stands solitary, framed by glowing water and digital fish. The job center director approaches Gong Ting to talk stats. Gong Xuan adjusts his glasses, analyzing the data. Confirmed, Si Chen is a C-rank awakener. He notes that Si Chen is the only student on campus, outranking Gong Ting. Gong Xuan mentions an open slot. Don't sweat it, Uncle Gong Ting replies. I was holding back during the placement test. He clenches his fist, vowing to reclaim the top spot. I'm the strongest here. Cut to the National Awakener University dorms room 23. Si Chen is in the shower. Water cascades off his muscles. He's deep in thought, plotting his next moves. Focus, the golden trophy, the $1 million grand prize for the grad exam, and his new alliance with guild leader Qing Ji. Later, he crashes in his bunk, drifting off. But rest is short-lived. A holographic alert blazes, gluttony system activated. Snap. He's teleported back to the red wasteland. In front of him looms the demonic tower piercing the purple sky. He checks his stats. Level 10. Mid-tier C rank. The grind never stops. He stares at the glowing SSS rank void key pulsing in his palm, mind racing about the hellscape waiting inside the demonic tower. Stepping up to the colossal stone gates, he extends the key. Instant reaction. A blinding explosion of white and purple light obliterates his vision. The gates groan open, revealing a swirling vortex of violet energy consuming the entrance. Shi-Chen steps straight into the abyss. Transported instantly, he lands in the fallen star wastes, but before he can look around, a crushing pressure slams into him. He hits the dirt, gasping for air, pinned by an invisible force. He realizes with horror, gravity here is 10 times heavier than Earth. A shadow looms on the ridge. A phantom lion manifests, purple fur bristling with malice. It's a B-rank Star Warrior beast, eyes glowing white with killer intent. Shi-Chen fights to stand against the crushing Tenji force. Adrenaline kicks in. He triggers a class switch, morphing into a level 10 lightning assassin. A crackling yellow thunderblade materializes in his grip. He launches himself forward, blade raised high, aiming a lethal strike at the monster's jugular. A system window pops up mid-air. Miss. The red text screams failure. Vital strike. Failed. Paralysis failed. Nothing landed. Shi-Chen's eyes go wide in pure shock. The phantom lion doesn't hesitate, it counters instantly. The beast lunges, slamming him into the jagged rocks. Pain explodes as Shi-Chen realizes the insane power gap in this tower. Time to go heavy. He switches classes to the Purgatory Rakshasa. His stat card flickers, updating his new Star Warrior capabilities. He weaponizes the environment, stacking the crushing gravity to buff his own strength. He's turning the pressure into pure power. System percentages skyrocket 200 to 600%. His punching power multiplies by 60 times. With a roar, Shi-Chen charges the phantom lion. As the beast bares its fangs, he activates super heavy mode mid-lunge. Impact. A catastrophic pillar of purple and white energy detonates from his fist. The ground shatters into thousands of fragments, blasting a massive circular crater into the wasteland. Shi-Chen lies in the epicenter of the ruined chest, heaving. A loot notification pings 12,000 experience points gained. Another banner flashes, level 11 reached. He breaks it down. Every star on his class card isn't just decoration. It's a multiplier. His Purgatory Rakshasa build rocks 11 stars while the Lightning Assassin holds 9. He realizes his dual classes are shattering the B-rank power ceiling. He stands over the dissolving purple glitch remains of the lion. System prompt target is devourable. He reaches out, siphoning the beast's essence directly into his hand. Suddenly, a towering gate of violet light manifests against the starry backdrop. A dark rift tears open nearby. Glowing white eyes multiply in the darkness. 4 more phantom lions burst from the void, hungry for blood. Cold realization hits Shi-Chen. That boss he just burned all his cooldowns to defeat. It was just a common mob. One beast swipes claws, tearing through flesh. Blood sprays across the air. Shadows swarm him. Fangs and claws rip into his body. A chilling system warning floats above the carnage. Once the door opens, endless pain awaits. The nightmare snaps. He jolts awake in his bed, gasping, clutching his chest drenched in cold sweat. Terror floods his eyes as he sits alone in the dark room staring at the floor. The phantom pain from the dream lingers. He clenches his fist, grimacing. Lesson learned, there are no cheat codes for real strength. Cut to the Grand Auditorium. Friday, May 20th, 2157. The graduation combat exam. Gong Shuang lounges in the front row, nursing a metal flask. The hall is packed with uniformed students buzzing with nervous energy. Whispers ripple through the crowd. Rumor has it Guild Scouts are in the building hunting for top-tier talent. Shi-Chen sits dead silent in the sea of noise, just listening, observing. While students hype up the exam results, Gong Shuang takes the podium to address the crowd. Everyone taps their wrist comms. Holographic displays flicker to life, projecting the team assignments in mid-air. The squad list drops Xiangzuo Malong, Xiang Yu, and Shi-Chen. Their official ranking, low E rank, bottom of the barrel. Malong loses it, screaming in disbelief. He turns on Shi-Chen, demanding to know how he tanked their average so hard. The crowd turns, pointing and laughing. Loser. The insults fly. Shi-Chen just stares at his stats. His expression is stone cold. From the shadows, Gong Ting watches him with narrow, calculating eyes. Gong Ting clasps his hands, a sinister smirk forming. He's plotting a massacre, total domination, leaving the opponents zero chance to fight back. Chaos erupts as students scramble to find teammates. A mob swarms around Gong Ting, desperate for a carry. They beg for his attention. One pink-haired girl screams about her, healer stats, trying to sell herself to the elite squad. A guy with a headband literally yells, "He'll be the president's dog." Gong Ting, total silence. He ignores the noise completely. A student council rep barks at the noisy crowd to zip it, announcing there is literally only room for one more body. 30 minutes later, the hall is buzzing as squads lock in their wristbands, pulsing with a steady green glow. A holographic notification pings team formed. But Shi-Chen and his 3 roomies are left standing solo in the cold. They glance at their wrists, only 4 members. Ma Long is sweating bullets, looking furious as he stammers. The rules clearly say 5 people, plus a high D rank carry. He is convinced the administration is targeting their dorm specifically. Shi Chen stares into the middle distance, calculating that padding the team with bodies just spawns more monsters. He realizes the system is a trap, high rewards for big teams but insane danger. He decides to ride or die with his small crew. For the final exam, Ma Long, Xiangyu, and Shi Chen are all tagged with bottom-tier low E-rank stats. Suddenly, a rival student hollers at Xiang Zhuo, trying to poach him to fill their last empty slot. He drops a harsh truth bomb on Xiang Zhuo. Hanging with these 3 scrubs is a one-way ticket to failing graduation. Shi Chen realizes his squad is being treated like social lepers by the entire school. Xiang Zhuo hesitates, looking down, but then rejects the invite, staying loyal to the pact his dormmates made. The other students cackle and point fingers, branding them the loser squad. Ma Long frantically scans the big screen, showing team statuses. It is a sea of green checkmarks. Sweat pours down his face as he screams at the monitor everyone is already locked in. He realizes there are 0 strong D-rankers left to save them. Shi Chen snaps his head around, eyes flaring with a neon cyan light as he triggers a new ability. Meanwhile, Gong Xuan lurks in a shadowed office, scheming to rig the assessment data in the auditorium to protect Gong Ting's golden reputation. Shi Chen stands up and hits the ignition. A class switch alert pops up, and jagged bolts of yellow lightning explode from his frame. His irises burn with blinding gold energy. The director and scientists gawk at the sudden power surge. Ma Long points a shaking finger at Shi Chen, screaming in disbelief. Shi Chen stands dead center, bathed in electricity that arcs across the floor. He declares that school tradition allows a student to issue a direct challenge to prove their raw power. Shi Chen locks eyes with Gong Ting, who returns the stare with an icy glare. Shi Chen knows crushing the school's ace is the only way to validate his rank and force the others to acknowledge his team for the finals. Suddenly, Ling Yu stands in the doorway shouting Shi Chen's name. She strides over and asks if they still have an open slot. She volunteers to fill the gap casually, dropping that she was already D rank back in middle school. Ma Long looks like he just won the lottery and roars with joy. The crowd starts whispering, "That is the genius transfer student." Director Gong Xuan shoots out of his chair, barking at Ling Yu. He jabs a finger at her, claiming she is unqualified for this test. He argues she has never sat for a rank exam at this university and has 0 official paperwork. He insists her joining violates campus regs. But then Principal Yuan Long manifests directly behind him. The principal is draped in intense purple energy and light streaks. He nods, seemingly agreeing with the director. Gong Xuan whips around, terrified and sweating. The principal and Ling Yu stand bathed in a purple aura. Shi Chen watches, analyzing the principal's kit. He notes Yuan Long is a warrior class, yet he just teleported that is completely broken. Shi Chen's eyes flash cyan as he attempts a deep scan of their levels. 2 digital hexagons with question marks float above their heads. Their power levels are way above his pay grade. Gong Xuan starts rambling about assessment, integrity, and talent. Principal Yuan Long fixes the director with a bone-chilling stare. He states the school owes every single student a fair shot. Gong Xuan freezes, sweating buckets. He realizes the principal is subtly calling him out and shielding Shi Chen. The director looks down, trembling mentally, cursing the principal as a sly old fox. The principal takes the stage and drops a rule change. He declares that teams with fewer than 5 members, or no D-rank leader, are now greenlit to register. Shi Chen and his roommates stack hands. Their wristbands flash, and a holographic team-formed alert materializes in the air. The boys cheer like maniacs, crowning Shi Chen as squad captain. The headmaster and Ling Yu watch Shi Chen from afar. A scientist glances at his tablet and gasps at how fast Shi Chen's team locked in their mission choice. The surrounding crowd screams in pure terror as the selection hits the main screen. Ma Long and the roommates lose their minds, waving their arms and screaming for Shi Chen to abort. Shi Chen stands there, stone-faced and silent. He stares down at his holographic wristcom with a stone-cold expression. It's showtime for the Academy's graduation battle exam. Squads are diving into actual dungeons. We're talking grinding mobs and slaying dungeon bosses to rack up points. Speedrunners get a bonus for clearing in under an hour. Plus, hitting an E-rank dungeon boosts the score multiplier way higher than an F-rank run. Capping out at 100 points secures the bag a direct invite to the prestigious Imperial Guild. The MVP takes home a cool 1 million yuan. 2 guys staring at a tablet are spiraling. One's got freckles, the other's sweating buckets. They're saying 90 is the all-time high score. The meta says you need at least 3 heavy-hitting D-rankers just to survive an E-rank run. Meanwhile, Gong Ting and his elite squad are lounging, looking absolute alpha. Ping. A notification lights up the big screen. Glasses guy gapes at the display, announcing someone just locked in their run. He zooms in, and no way. It's Shi Chen's crew. The interface displays 3 tiers, F, E, and the suicide run D. Shi Chen's avatar is hovering right inside the D-rank slot. The kid is shook because nobody has ever cleared a D-rank dungeon alive. Ma Long snatches Shi Chen's arm, getting right in his grill, screaming, "Bro, do you have any idea what you just did?" Xiang Zuo is literally on the floor, head in hands, sobbing his eyes out. He's terrified he's stuck on this suicide squad. Then his wrist comm buzzes, confirm entry to D-rank dungeon. Ma Long is dripping sweat, eyes glued to the screen. He leans in shouting, "Have you actually processed how dangerous this is?" Shi Chen doesn't even blink. He stares straight ahead, cool as ice. "I've calculated every variable." The choice locks in. The main HUD updates, pitting two names under the D-rank nightmare, Gong Ting versus Shi Chen. A neon pink pop-up flashes all members confirmed. It's official. System voice chimes in. Team Gong Ting has officially entered the chat. The auditorium erupts. Students are losing their minds and Glasses Guy's jaw is practically hitting the floor. Everyone's hyped for the drama this year. Gong Ting just sits there, arms crossed, eyes closed, total unbothered energy. One of his girls shoots a nasty smirk at Shi Chen's squad, mocking them for trying to flex. The rest of the elites crack up, pointing fingers. They're calling Shi Chen a clout chaser, who's about to get ditched by his own team. Ma Long glances sideways and freezes. He senses a beastly aura radiating from his friend, a guy who used to be totally dependent on everyone else. Determination flashes behind his lenses. He roars, "I'm riding with Shi Chen till the bitter end." He slams the glowing green confirm button. Xiang Zuo follows his lead, raising his arm to sync up. Looking totally drained, he sighs. "Whatever. We're already dead last, so who cares how hard the dungeon is?" The whole squad is locked and loaded for the D-rank assessment. System message team. Shi Chen registration complete. Shi Chen stands dead center in the auditorium, flanked by his three roomies. Eyes downcast, voice heavy, he drops the truth bomb on his boys. "My bad, guys. I picked the suicide run because I need that MVP title." He looks them in the eye. "We're not just surviving. We're gunning for the high score." Up in the stands, Gong Ting looms over them, staring down like a king. He bellows, "This university isn't big enough for two apex predators." Ling Yu watches from the sidelines. She's never seen Gong Ting this triggered before. The beef between these two just went public. Sparks fly as they glare across the room. Headmaster Yuan Long watches it all unfold with a knowing little smirk. Ling Yu looks deep in thought. Choosing D rank. That's not brave, that's arrogance. Here's the math. F rank is 1.5, E rank is double, but D rank. That's a massive triple multiplier capping at 150 points. A crimson warning flashes under the D rank icon. She's convinced a four-man squad can't handle that heat. Yuan Long notes the clock. 1 month to 0 hour. Cut to the combat sim room at 22:45 elites in high-tech visors, battling digital demons. Blue energy arcs and red explosions light up the dark, everyone flexing skills in the safety of the sim. Yuan Long just hopes Team Shi Chen doesn't embarrass themselves in the arena. Cut to reality, Shi Chen is standing tall, totally fine, while his roommates are bent over hurling on the stairs. The countdown ticks away, only 17 days left. Drenched in sweat, Ma Long gasps, "Bro, why are we doing cardio when we have $1 million monster simulator?" Shi Chen shuts him down. "Simulations are just games. When you step into a real dungeon, the fear is going to paralyze you. Out there, your digital stats don't matter. Only your killer instincts decide if you live or die. Forget the textbooks and boring lectures." He tells his squad, they're grinding for raw stats now, endurance, explosive power, and split-second reaction times to sharpen their killer instincts. He keeps it 100, admitting that school simulations are pretty much useless trash. The real XP is in actual dungeons, but that content is strictly gatekept for the high-status elites. Suddenly, Gong Ting unleashes a blinding yellow energy beam, slicing a massive white beast cleanly in half like it's nothing. He breaks down the harsh reality those rich kids basically spawned with cheat codes, flexing natural power that everyone else is desperate to obtain. Shi Chen makes it clear this is the endgame. The graduation exam is their single do-or-die shot to get drafted into the prestigious Imperial Guild and absolutely crush the elite class. Ma Long stares, eyes popping out of his skull. Shi Chen jaw set like granite eyes flaring a demonic crimson. He vows to the squad, victory isn't an option, it's a guarantee. Cut to 15 days pre-exam. Shi Chen steps into the nightmare zone, the starfall wastelands within the Tower of Darkness. He launches himself skyward and dives straight into a swarm of purple phantom lions. It's brutal. Fangs sink into his chest, claws shred his skin. 10-day mark. Shi Chen is drilling the team, pushing a marathon pace on the track. The roommates are completely gassed, and one guy just plants his face in the turf. Meanwhile, back in the tower, Shi Chen blasts a lion with pure lightning. Split screen to Gong Ting, carving through enemies like butter with his blade. 5 days left. Shi Chen is repping out push-ups, with a massive stack of iron plates crushing his spine. The squad watches, counting every rep. 3 days on the clock, and Gong Ting stands unbothered amidst an inferno of ash. 2 days out. Si Chen stands atop a mountain of slain beasts, dominating the wasteland. A holographic HUD pings. Level 16 reached. Finally, 24 hours to go. Si Chen is covered in gore eyes, burning a piercing electric yellow. He drops a cold line. The war starts now. June 17th, 2157. Judgment Day. Si Chen snaps a black glove onto his hand, flanking his 3 roommates in the tunnel. They're jacked, radiating new confidence. The PA booms, exams start. Blue flares, backlight 3, imposing silhouettes, projected on the admin building giant screen. Headmaster Yuan Long is gripping hands, with a bespectacled man in a trench coat. That's Gong Lin, leader of the Imperial Guild, and Gong Ting's father. Students on the balcony are losing it, totally shook to see a legend on school grounds. Suddenly, a white luxury whip pulls up. Men in black swarm the perimeter. A pink-haired figure steps out. It's Carl Cavendish, vice chairman of the Global Guild Federation. He smooths his gray coat, looking immaculate. The balcony crowd goes wild. They can't believe a top-tier official is actually here. We're talking about the Guild Federation, literally the most powerful org on the planet. Carl struts to the entrance alongside Sigrid, the Federation's Secretary General. Cut to the control room. Director Gong Xuan is perched behind his desk, scanning a massive video wall, tracking every corner of the campus. Meanwhile, Sigrid tours the halls with Principal Yuan Long and the staff. The principal wears a subtle smirk, guiding the VIPs past banks of monitors to watch the chaos unfold. An entire entourage trails the leaders as they sweep to the main viewing deck. Inside the dungeons, it's survival mode. One student slashes a massive Ling Yao water serpent with a blade of blue energy. Elsewhere, a colossal sandworm bursts from the water, rows of teeth snapping at 2 students. Cut to a pitch-black cave, where stag spiders scuttle across the ceiling. A 4-eyed student looks up, shaking like a leaf. Back in control. Director Gong Xuan monitors the feeds. He assures everyone that pros are stationed at the gates, ready to jump in if things go south. A giant spider towers over a fallen student. The kid screams in pure terror and smashes his wrist device. A red dropped notification flashes he's out. In a blink of red light, he and his squad are warped out of the dungeon. Secretary Sigrid eyes the screens. She spots only 2 teams left in the brutal D-rank zone. She comments that she's hyped to see what they can do. Gong Xuan just watches, convinced they'll tap out any second. The squad breaches Cloudwood Summit. High up on a frozen branch, a shadow crouches in wait. It's a wraithwing monkey, gray fur, nasty claws, D-rank threat. Si Chen stays frosty as snow swirls around him. Stay sharp, he warns. Suddenly, 3 monkeys dive bomb from the canopy. Si Chen blurs into motion. He unleashes 3 massive arcs of blue energy. Boom, direct hits. They hit the ground hard. Thud. Crimson blood spreads across the pristine snow. Ma Long just sits there, jaw on the floor. Shang Zuo is equally shook. He realizes Si Chen just soloed 3 D-ranks like it was nothing. Si Chen looms over the kill, yellow lightning crackling around his body and the dagger in his grip. His eyes burn with that intense yellow glow. The squad rallies behind him. He gives it to them straight. You guys aren't strong enough for this. He orders them to fall back and stay alive. Then he launches himself forward. A massive bolt of lightning hammers the frozen earth as he lets out a roar. Let him handle the heavy lifting. A student hits the deck, screaming for the squad to watch their 6. Another guy skids across the frozen tundra, yelling his lungs out as a brutal impact launches one of Si Chen's crew backward. It finally clicks for Xiang Zuo. This is why Si Chen drilled them on insane reaction speeds and explosive burst training. The harsh truth hits home. Si Chen never planned on them backing him up in a real fight. That grueling boot camp wasn't for offense. It was strictly so his roommates could keep themselves alive. Just survive. It stings considering he used to strut around like the big boss of their dorm. Now he's eating humble pie, realizing he needs Si Chen to hard carry him just to pass this graduation exam. Meanwhile, Si Chen is a blur of motion against the snow, crackling with jagged yellow lightning. He manifests lightning blades, carving through a white furry beast like butter, before blitzing the rest of the pack. Nightmare fuel, incoming massive white bats with human faces, swarm the sky, screeching. But they get greeted by a storm of yellow thunderbolts. Voltage arcs from every angle shredding wings and torsos. Xiang Zuo watches in awe, as long as Si Chen is calling the shots. They've got this graduation exam in the bag. He's fully sold on Si Chen's god-tier power level. Victory isn't a question anymore. Watching him work, his teammate realizes Si Chen isn't just a student, he's built different. He fights like a battle-scarred veteran. Down in the valley, a web of yellow lightning hunts down the smaller dark mobs. Monsters drop from the sky in a bloody rain. Xiang Zuo wonders, when did this guy become the ultimate carry? The power gap between them is massive. Suddenly, a beast dives from the snow blindness. A student screams a warning. Ambush from the rear. The student throws up, flaming arms catching the creature's limbs in a deadlock. Sparks fly as they struggle. He roars at Xiong Yu and Ma Long. We can't keep being dead weight. We can't just let Si Chen solo this entire raid. Ma Long and Xiong Yu lock eyes. It clicks, this is their graduation too, not just the Shi Chen show. Xiang Zuo bellows, this is our test. Ma Long extends his right hand ready to throw down. Green light erupts from his palm. He's with the program. Planting his feet in the snow, Ma Long gets serious. He casts Florachant Vine Lock. Dark sinuous vines burst from his glowing hand. They snake across the battlefield. Chew on this, he yells as the vines whip through the air. They coil tight around a white monster's neck. The beast lets out a piercing scream, but it rips through the vines. A blast of energy knocks Xiang Zuo backward. Staring at the beast, hand glowing green, he screams that the trap is shattered. No time to waste. Ma Long switches elements, Cloud Chant, Frost Breeze, a blast of sub-zero air. Slams the monster, flash freezing it into solid blocks of ice. Ma Long extends a glowing blue hand. It's vulnerable. Hit it now, he signals Xiong Yu. Xiong Yu clenches a fist glowing with green aura. Eyes locked on the frozen target, he growls. You're not going anywhere. It's combo time. Ma Long and Xiong Yu sync up for a frost breeze. Vine lock. The beast is completely immobilized, encased in ice and strangled by thick vines. They turn to their heavy hitter. Xiang Zuo, finish it. It's time for the team's nuclear mage to shine. Xiang Zuo charges in, clutching a swirling sphere of orange chaos. He cocks his arm back and hurls. A massive projectile. Eat this text flashes across the screen. Burst, flame bullet. The fireball screams through the air and smashes directly into the frozen prisoner with devastating force. Flames engulf the beast, scorching its white fur. But Xiang Zuo isn't done. He crouches, conjuring 3 more. Fire bullets orbiting his body. He launches the trio simultaneously, shouting, "This thing is way tankier than I thought." The fire bullets zip through the air, tagging the monster's chest and wings. Boom boom, every hit triggers an explosion. Meanwhile, Xiong Yu strains palm glowing green. I can't hold it much longer. Beside him, Ma Long is sweating bullets, blue energy sputtering around his hand. Gritting his teeth, he screams, "I'm at my limit," but high above the chaos. Xiang Zuo leaps into the dark red sky. He's holding a colossal sphere of swirling orange and white plasma. High above his head. Eyes glowing demon red, he roars, "I'm going all out." Xiang Zuo roars, signaling his endgame. He triggers his ult, unleashing the devastating converged burst flame bullet. He plummets from the crimson sky like a human meteor. Boom! The screen gets nuked in a blinding flash of orange fire. The shockwave rattles the earth beneath them. A drone chimes in with the kill, confirm that Ghostbat is officially history. The squad is totally wiped, sprawled in the dirt and covered in soot. They're running on empty, but those grins, absolutely priceless. Ma Long is hyping them up, screaming, "We actually pulled it off." Xiang Zuo is buzzing. They just clapped a D-rank beast. Xi Chen is just chilling behind a tree, low-key observing the scene with that signature calm vibe. The trio lays back on the snowy ground, staring at the heavens. A loot notification pops up over the corpse. Score, they secured a Ghostbat monkey fingerbone. Yo Xi Chen, you seeing this? One of the boys yells. Xiang Zuo is gasping for air, but he's beaming like he just won the lottery. He flexes at Xi Chen, claiming it was a total breeze. Xi Chen gives them a nod, dropping a simple, "Not bad guys, solid work." But get this, behind Xi Chen, the branches of a dead tree are decorated with monster carcasses like some twisted trophy rack. The drone flashes a final system alert. GG's team. The Devil's Cave has been completely cleared, every single mob is down. Cut to director Gong Xuan. His jaw is practically on the floor as he glues his eyes to the monitor in pure disbelief. Sweat is pouring down his face. He's spiraling, demanding to know how a bunch of trash-tier students just dominated. "These kids are total noobs with 0 combat experience," he stammers. It doesn't add up that D-rank monster should have crushed them. The live feed zooms in on the slain beast. Gong Lin and Headmaster Yuan Long just stand there watching the footage in stone-cold silence. Carl Cavendish leans back in his oversized chair, a smirk playing on his lips. That kid, he muses, is absolute fire. Carl studies Xi Chen's face intently. The resemblance hits him hard. He looks just like an old friend I used to know.